everybody, it's Debbie here. Welcome back to my Crafty Dan. So I am sitting down for a session with my journal. I don't know whether I'll actually be journaling or I think I'm going to create a bit of a page first. Not sure which direction that will go yet. But if you're new here, then welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and deciding to watch. And I appreciate you being here, as well as if you like what you see and do a little surfing around my channel. And if you like what you see in the other videos, go ahead and hit subscribe so that you can come back and see what I do in the future, as well as my returning subscribers. Thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate each and every view. And let's get on with this, shall we? So I am going to open this up, and I have these. I just put a little silicone mat down in here, and I have these three like really, really thin. They're just a really cheap dollar store grid paper, and they are really, really thin. So what I'm going to do is, this will be 2 journaling sessions. I'm going to actually take this glue. So I've put the silicone mat down so that this wouldn't go on the other pages, because this glue is really, really sticky, really sticky. So all I'm going to do to glue that page down is take it, and I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to fold it over like that right on the other one. I mean, they were put in here together, so they should go together pretty easily. Yeah, this glue stick, it's a Forever and Time glue stick. It's the first time I've ever bought one. And I'm quite happy with it. Quite happy. One of the nicest glue sticks that I've ever had. So it's very sticky to the point that if you get it on your fingers and you pull apart, you get glue strings. So yeah, so I'm thinking it's a really good permanent bond, and it'll be just great in my planner and my journal and all kinds of places. So this is the tag that I created 2 days, or I posted 2 days ago, and I call it a hanging tag. If you want to see how I did these, then go ahead and watch that video. But I want to hang this over this page. So I'll do one side and then I'll do the other side. So right now, I think I'm going to do this side. I think I'm going to put the bourbon rose on this side. I do. So I'm going to start by putting a little bit of gesso on this page to toughen it up. And I think I'm just going to use for that, I'm just going to put a little bit of this Liquitex clear gesso on here, just a dab, like that. And I'm going to spread it around. So it's not going to take much. But I did grab myself some brushes, so I can spread this a lot easier now. So all I want to do is prepare these pages that I just glued together. All I want to do is have this page prepared a little bit so that it'll take some liquid mediums or anything like that. Like if I put any inks and I put any paints or anything like that on here, it will stand up to it and it's not going to eat the paper away. So I'm going to let this dry for just a second, maybe hit it with my heat tool, but I'll shut this off so that you don't have to hear that. That's pretty dry. It was such a thin layer that only took a minute. I just went over it quickly. And I have this napkin. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with this page, but I have this napkin and it has roses on it. And they're a little bit different color, but I don't think that that's going to matter because it's more... This napkin, by the way, when you open it up, all 4 sections, has one constant print that goes up like this. So it's a full page. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's just, but I love it. But so I was going to put some paint on here so that the lines wouldn't show through. But in all actuality, I don't mind if these lines are going to show through. After all, it is a journal, and I'll probably write on the page. So I just may write over the whole napkin. It's already coming apart in this corner. Let me see. There. Take that one off, and then take that one off. Just try to blow those two little pieces of tissue apart so I can grab it with my finger. So that came off actually pretty good. So now I have this, but do you see when I put it on here, these lines are going to show through. That's going to be okay, I think. I absolutely love it. Now all I have to do is figure out, do I want these letters on here? Do I want, I love the pearls too. So I'm thinking, I bring this up here like this and go from about here to here. I get the pearls, the letter, the teacup, the lock and key. I think that's going to be so pretty. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this right up about here, about an inch from this edge. And then I'm just going to cut it across the top. Now I really like this whole shiplap look that's behind this. And I'm just going to Mod Podge it down onto my page. I'm just going to be very careful, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm wondering if maybe I'll try something different. So if you don't have any Mod Podge, I've done this before, and it's a 50-50. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it'll work if you're careful. So let's put this down here. So I take my glue. Right, and this is really, really sticky glue. So if I take my glue and I put a nice even coat from top to bottom. Now this page is going to grab this glue and hold it a little bit better because there's a little layer of gesso on here. So I'm going to make sure I got it around the edges really good because I don't want my napkin to peel up. And I think it's all covered. Let's see. And then I take my piece of napkin because I've already separated it and I've already cut it down to size. Now, if I put this down on here, this is going to stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this at the bottom like this and drop it. I didn't mean to. But I think it'll be okay. Oh, it fell almost perfectly. I was going to tell you to hold on to that and brush the bottom first. So I'm just going to take a soft paintbrush, just this soft paintbrush. Now there's no glue on this side. But I'm just kind of brushing this down so this whole thing will be stuck down on there. So let's take this. I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to stick my finger right down in there. There, I just tucked that in, basically. Now I can feel the wet of the glue right through the napkin. And it hangs over this page a little bit. But isn't that a pretty page now? That's a lovely page, but you can still see. Now this is going to have to dry. Yeah, this is all stuck down really good, I think. But that was really easy. So I have a background. I have a background for my page. That simply. So I'm going to dry this. Put anything else on it. Okay, so it's dry. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut around my page I just have my paintbrush sitting in some water there until I rinse it out. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to trim this now. It is very easy to cut. Just keep it going straight. And the same with this side here. Move it so that I can trim around my camera stand. So if anybody's been watching the news, then they've seen the horrible, horrible thing that happened in Nova Scotia with that man, and he killed all those people. He's affected so many communities and so many families, and these poor people that are left behind to mourn and not being able to get out to funerals or be together and comfort each other because of the COVID epidemic and the outbreaks. And what a terrible, terrible time. So if you are so inclined and you have a minute to spare, please pray for those families, because yeah, keep them in your hearts right now. On top of what everybody else is suffering right now, they're going through the most horrible grief. So this is what I'm left with. Now, remember, these pages aren't done. This page will be turned into a pocket, I believe, with a window in it. And this one may just be journaled on the back, because I'll probably leave this one the way it is. But I'm trying to keep all my colors in here, neutrals and, you know, different, just very vintagey looking. Not vintage so much as just a little vintage looking. So I think I want some yeah, I'm going to put this back in here. I think I want to do some inking. I haven't got my new ink pads yet. I did buy these little daubers though, so I'm really, really hoping that I can get enough. I don't even think I can, out of this antique linen. These are all so dried up. Vintage photo. Maybe I can get enough out of the vintage photo. Let's see. I bought these little daubers. Oh, there's a little bit on there, so we'll see what happens here. Oh yeah, they ink nicely. Let's pull this down a little bit so I can do the bottom. Just be careful, like you don't do what I did and grab the edge of your napkin and start to rip it up there. That may be a little loose right there. So yeah, it doesn't matter. See, that's starting to fray a little bit. I don't mind at all. It kind of goes with that vintage thing I was talking about. There. Now I'm going to go around the top a little bit. There, look at the difference, just adding a bit of a napkin and some inking around the edges, and the difference that that makes to that page. So I'm just going to rub up and down the side here so that I can bring that in a little bit. I'll be so glad when my inks come. I ordered a couple, just a couple of the larger distress inks, 2 of the colors that I use the most, and we'll see if they come. We'll see if they come. So I have to put I'm going to have to put a quote or something right here in the middle. So I think what I'm going to do is find something I like and write it out on a piece of this. This is a piece of watercolor paper that I have left over, but it's nice and thick. So I am going to cut a piece. I'll put my quote on here, and then I'll cut it out, and then I'll ink it and put it down on the page. So I'm going to go look for a quote. Okay, so I found a quote. I just printed it on the watercolor paper with my micron pen so that it won't run. And I've just cut it out with my, these little scissors that give it an edge. And then I am going to see if I can get some more of this ink out of here. And I'm going to ink this up. So the quote says, what we have once enjoyed, we can never lose. All that we love deeply becomes a part of us. And it's a quote from Helen Keller. So I thought that that was very appropriate to be able to remember that in these times, because there's so much loss all over the world right now. And there's people out there that are just grieving so hard. And it's always important to remember that our loved ones are always a part of us. So I'm going to put that right here. And yeah, I've just kind of gone over it so that it kind of just blends in with the coloring. That's really good. I'm going to glue it with my glue stick. And then I will probably journal on the back of that tag. If you get, look at, yes, that's how sticky that glue is. So yeah, and I did get some on my fingers. So I'm going to try to put this down, and then I got to get a baby wipe quick and wipe this off my fingers. There, I can touch things again. So, and then to seal this in, I am going to go over the whole thing with Mod Podge, and it'll be done. And then I can just add, my goodness, I cut these to the same size so good I can't get them apart. So then I'll just add this like that, and that's my journal page in there. So I created the tag, and then I created the page underneath it. So yeah, I like it. I really, really like it. So thanks for joining me for another journal day or another journal page. And if you like what you see, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to comment and share and all those really cool things that help me out. And take care, everybody. Please be safe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye for now.